Hey yo, what is up YouTube? Ginno here today with a cool little Exo video too in 2 days. That's not a record for me actually, to be fair. Cool. So what we're doing today is something that I saw going around on Twitter a couple days ago. Of course the NCAA brackets have been going on. That's the basketball in the US. Really quite cool. And they do like these brackets of all the teams, and then they like get to the final, blah blah blah. It's sort of it's like a cup competition. I don't really know how to describe it. Anyway, just here you will see one that I've put together. It's for Exo, and I saw people doing this for Kanye West, Brockhampton, Kendrick Lamar, all those famous people, and I did a Kanye one, and then I put together my own Exo one because why not? I was bored and I was procrastinating, so I thought I'd make a video about it. A link in the description will be to my original tweet, so you can fill in your own versions. Please retweet, favorite, that sort of thing. I'd quite like this to turn into an actual thing. I want to see as many XOLs doing this as possible. I just think that'd be really cool. Anyway, I'm going to be doing mine, so yeah, I hope you're cool with that. It should be fun. So in the first runoff, we're starting off at the top left. We have Call Me Baby and Run, and I decided to go with Call Me Baby. I know it's a lot better. I enjoy it a lot. I think it's just a great song, and yeah, for me, Run is not Exo's most interesting song. So yeah. Next up we have Angel and Lucky. I didn't actually hear much of the XOXO album until recently, but Lucky's really grown on me. It's a good song, really plucky, nice pop sounds, it's fun, so I went with Lucky. Then the next one was Thunder or Power, and once again, I'm not a huge fan of Thunder. I think it was in the Overdose EP or something like that, and I decided to go with Power. Power, not my favourite EXO title song, but it is really fun, it's vibrant, and it's got some great sounds there, so I just went with that over Thunder. The final round in this little bracket, I don't know what to call it, One and Only and Heart Attack. Two songs I don't know particularly well, but Heart Attack for me is the better of the two songs, and yeah, that's what I went for. Moving on to the next bit, we have Cloud9 versus Mama. Mama, of course, one of their most legendary songs, really. It was their debut title track, and Cloud9 was off the exact album. I decided to go with Mama, actually. This was a little bit of a difficult one because I do enjoy Cloud9, but I went for Mama, and I feel like that makes a lot of sense. It's just so fun. It's got these really angelic vocals, and I love that. I just think that sounds so good, and it's iconic actually. And the next one was actually a very difficult one again for me, Heaven or The Eve. And the Eve does go through. I do like Heaven. I made a comment in my last video about the EXO albums about Exact. Someone commented something about you don't like Heaven. I do like Heaven. I forgot to say it in the video. It's one of the ones in the second half of the Exact album that I do enjoy a fair bit. Anyway, the next one is Lotto or Baby Don't Cry. I'm not a big fan of either of those songs. I think I made that clear in my video yesterday, but I do think Lotto is so subjectively better. Obviously. Subjective. I do think it is a little bit better than Baby Don't Cry. Lots of people come to the defense of Baby Don't Cry. Purely my opinion. It's not a bad song. It's just, for me, I don't enjoy that sort of song, and I didn't really like it. Anyway, the next one is What You Do and Love Love Love. What You Do, of course, off the War album. Grew on me a lot. When I first listened to it, I wasn't so into it, but it grew on me a lot. Love Love Love, I don't really care all that much about it. I think that, again, it's either off the Overdose or the Mama. I don't remember which one, but either way, I wasn't so into it, so I would just put What You Do ahead of it, just on that fact. Then moving on to the next bracket. This is going to be a long video if you can't tell. What You Do goes through. Then the next bracket, They Never Know or Coco Pop. Coco Pop, hands down. I don't really care for They Never Know. Coco Pop is a great song. It's really underrated. People don't like Coco Pop all that much, like XOLs, but I love it. This was a super tough one. Touch It or Overdose, both great songs in their own right. I went with Touch It ahead just because I think it's so much more creative and different. I love the production on it, and those funk themes are just superb. She's Dreaming or Eldorado. Eldorado all the way. All the way. All the way. Can't Bring Me Down or Love Me Right. Once again, Love Me Right all the way. Can't Bring Me Down isn't exactly a bad song, but Love Me Right is. It's streets ahead. Streets. Is that a phrase? I feel like that's not a phrase. Moving on to the next bracket, 365 or Playboy. It's Playboy. 365. One Direction. All that's what it sounds like. It sounds like One Direction. Playboy is a pretty good song off Exodus. This one was also very difficult. Walk on Memories or Boomerang. I love both those songs. Walk on Memories is one of my favourites off The War, and then of course Boomerang, which was part of The Power of Music, which was the extension one. But I did go with Boomerang because it's my favourite off The Power of Music. Those new songs. I think it's better than Power, better than what's it? Sweet Lies. That's it. Then we have Artificial Love or Hurt. Artificial Love is a far superior song. Hurt's fine, nothing wrong with it, but Artificial Love is superb. One of my favourite songs off Exact. Going Crazy or Growl, another very difficult one. I went with Growl just ahead of Going Crazy, but really it was incredibly touch and go. I do like Going Crazy a lot, but I feel like Growl, because it's so iconic, it also holds like a little place in my heart, because it's one of those songs by EXO that really got me into them. And yeah, especially after watching EXO Showtime, I used to listen to it a lot because it was always playing in the background of EXO Showtime. So yeah, and we are now moving on to the other side, where we have Monster or Two Moons. Monster all the way. Two Moons is a good song actually. I think if I'm thinking of the right song, I really enjoy the rap verses in it. I think I'm thinking of Two Moons. I really like the rap verses. Anyway, What Is Love or Let Out the Beast? Let Out the Beast. I do like that song a lot. It's a very fun song. It's got a great instrumental. What Is Love is very forgettable. In fact, I can't even remember what album it's on or what EP it's on. Stronger or Sweet Lies? Obviously Sweet Lies. I really like that. The Power of Music. Stronger's is a little bit too slow for me. Stronger. Yeah. Universe or Transformer? I went with Universe, although Transformer's a decent track. But Universe, the vocals on it are intense. I love the feel of it. The whole Universe winter album, my favourite EXO winter album. With Miracles in December is also good, but Universe is probably my favourite. History or My Answer? I went with History. I think this is a little bit debatable. I went with History, and I'm starting to think why, because My Answer is a decent track actually, and History I'm not all that into, but either way, yeah, they're both good tracks. Then Stay or Black Pearl all the way. Superb song, one of my favourites of the XOXO album. Really good rap verse. I think it was from Chenyol. Don't really remember. White Noise or Exodus? I went with Exodus, although I do quite like White Noise. It's a decent track, but Exodus is so much more fun and interesting. Been Through and Wolf. I actually felt a bit bad putting Been Through because I don't like Been Through all that much. It's fine, but Wolf is I couldn't put Wolf through because no. Yeah, My Lady or Moonlight? I went with Moonlight. I like the vocals on it. My Lady is a little bit forgettable. Goodnight or Peter Pan? I went with Goodnight. Once again, Peter Pan, not my favourite song. It's a little bit too slow, and you know, I'm just never into it. I know it's a big favourite among XOLs. I just don't like it that much. Lights Out or Lady Luck? I went with Lights Out. Lots of these songs here in this little bracket are a little bit forgettable, actually, if I'm honest. I'm not so into either Lights Out or Lady Luck, but I went with Lights Out just because it's the more original of the two. I don't know. Anyway, Machine or Lucky One? Obviously Lucky One. Machine, very forgettable. Was that off the Mama EP? Very forgettable. A lot of the Mama EP was forgettable, which is a little bit of a shame, because if you think about, you know, their first EP, you'd want it to be amazing, but it's a little bit forgettable. EXO have improved a lot along the way. Anyway, the final bracket is Dancing King and Don't Go. I went with Dancing King. I love Dancing King, one of the EXO's most original fun songs. And Don't Go, it's a fine track, but nothing compared to Dancing King. My lord, so underrated. So many EXOs forget about it as well because it's not on any album. It's just a single they did with Youngjae Shook, and I just love it. Lightsaber or Miracles in December? I went with Miracles in December. Lightsaber, I don't like the breathy vocals. The production on it is average, and it's just not very interesting. Whereas Miracles in December, the vocals on it are just so incredible. 24 are Beautiful. I went with 24 again. The rapping on it, intense. This was on the Miracles in December album or EP, the winter thing, I think. I'm not 100% on that, but I think it was. Then we have For Life or Forever. This was difficult, but I went with Forever because I do prefer it to For Life. But For Life is a superb song. The vocals on it are great. No criticism of that, but I do like Forever a lot. So yeah, now we're moving on to the next round. So I'm not sure how I'm going to edit this in the video, but I guess we'll see. So starting off again, top left corner, Call Me Baby and Lucky are through to the next round there. And I went with Call Me Baby over Lucky. Then I went for Power and Heart Attack. I went for Power, which I think makes a lot of sense. So the final in that is Call Me Baby and Power. Then in the next bracket we have Mama and the Eve. I went with the Eve. It was a little bit difficult, but the Eve, the production was just insane, and the vocals on it are better than in Mama, and it's a little bit more interesting. As much as Mama, I love those sort of angelic, churchy vocals. There's just something about the Eve. It's just got so much flavour to it. Then in the next bracket, Lotto or What You Do. It's got to be What You Do. So much better as a track than Lotto. More interesting, less of that awful auto-tune that they just used unnecessarily, that just didn't give the track anything. I don't know why they did it, but there we go. Coco Bop or Touch It. This was tough, but I did go with Coco Bop just because I think they played around with it a lot more and branched off a little bit. The R&B reggae mix is just superb. So yeah, that's through to the next round. Then Eldorado or Love Me Right. I went with Love Me Right. But it was a tight one. It was a tight one. Either one of them could have gone through, to be honest. But I went with Love Me Right. Playboy or Boomerang. Boomerang. It's got to be Boomerang. It's always going to be Boomerang, I think. Playboy is good, but it's not quite as memorable as Boomerang for me. The production on that is just superb, and Boomerang actually reminds me a little bit of Touch It and Going Crazy, in that weird sort of funky, fun production that Exo don't really go for all that often. So yeah. Then in the next one, Artificial Love or Growl. Again, very difficult, but Growl edged ahead of Artificial Love. Yeah, I don't really know what to say about that one. Moving on to the other side, Monster or Let Out the Beast. Monster, all the way. All the way. Let Out the Beast is good, but Monster is one of Exo's best songs. Sweet Lies or Universe. I went with Sweet Lies, just because I think it's more memorable for me. It's a better song, really. Universe, as much as it is a great winter song, I can't listen to it year round actually, and I found I haven't listened to it very much recently, whereas I listened to Sweet Lies a fair bit. History or Black Pearl. It was touch and go putting History through in the last round, but Black Pearl was 100% one for me, and it's still my favourite track there. So Black Pearl went through. Exodus have been through. I put Exodus through. I'm not a huge fan of Been Through, but Exodus does go through in there. Then in the next bit we have Moonlight or Goodnight. Again, I don't really know these two songs all that well. I don't listen to them all that much, so I put Goodnight through, but can expect that to go out in the next round. Lights Out, Lucky One. Lucky One. I feel like I don't need to explain why I love Lucky One so much. I saw some people saying Lucky One Supremacist tries. Indeed, Lucky One is beautiful. Anyway, Dancing King or Miracles. I went with Dancing King. As you know, it's one of my favourite Exo tracks, and Miracles is great, superb vocals, but it's not that interesting, and the instrumental is average at best. Then we have 24 or Forever. Tough one, because 24 is a great song. It's one of my favourite songs that's come out on a winter album for Exo, but Forever does edge it just because of the production by LD and Noise, really. It's so different, it's so vibrant, it's so passionate, and yeah, I love Forever as a song. So now we're moving on, what is this, to the quarterfinals. Call Me Baby versus Power. I went with Call Me Baby. I think a lot of people will agree with me there. It actually, if we're talking in football streaks, football results even, I'd say it's a 3-0 for Call Me Baby. It's got the vocals, it's got the fun aspect, and it's a better song. It's a better song, Call Me Baby. Anyway, The Eve versus What You Do. This was very tough, but I did go with The Eve. It's more interesting, and I think the production on it's a little bit better. I'm finding it quite hard to talk about my thoughts here because I haven't written anything down. This is all off the top of my head right now. I've planned out the thing, but it's all off the top of my head, the reasons why, because I did this all yesterday. Then we're moving on to the next one, Coco Bop or Love Me Right. Again, difficult, but I did go with Coco Bop just because I think the reggae R&B fusion is so much more interesting than Love Me Right, which was, it's fairly simple pop with some R&B flavours. Then we have Boomerang and Growl. Again, difficult, but I went with Boomerang because it's more experimental. it was something different for EXO. Even though Growl at the time was such a huge song, now that I look back on it, I think Boomerang was a larger changeover than Growl was. Growl is a great song though, no doubt about it, but in my opinion Boomerang is a little bit better. Then we have Monster and Sweet Lies. Very difficult, but I put Monster ahead mainly due to the production and the importance of it to me. I love Monster to death, and I think it deserves to go through. The next round, I'm a little bit surprised that both of these songs I've got so far. Black Pearl and Exodus. I do love Black Pearl, but I'm still a little bit surprised it's got through, and it is better than Exodus, and that's what I choose out of those two. Black Pearl. I do love that song. Good Night or Lucky One? Lucky One, obviously. Lucky One. And finally, Dancing King versus Forever. This was so difficult. I really deliberated on this one.
Is near empty. Time to recharge.
All right, that's my speaker. Time to recharge. So I put Dancing King through. And
off.
Cool. And it was really hard because I do love Forever, but I did put Dancing King through because I think it's so original, and it was a little bit game changing for me. It really cemented EXO as one of my favourite groups, and they were willing to try something so different, so dancey, and it was just really fun. Alright, so I don't know how I did this, but I somehow managed to not record the quarterfinals. Somehow. I really don't know how. Anyway, Call Me Baby versus The Eve. This is 4 hours later. Call Me Baby versus The Eve. This was a tough decision, but I did go with The Eve in the end, I think. It's probably one of my favourite songs off of the War album, if not my favourite at this point. Grew on me so much. Call Me Baby, it's a legendary EXO song, but I do listen to The Eve more. I think I just enjoy it more, and that's why I'm just going to put it ahead here. The Eve is my winner there. Coco Pop versus Boomerang, tough decision, but overall I think Coco Pop it's more experimental than Boomerang. Boomerang is experimental, it's fun, it's got a nice funk feel to it and a very fun instrumental, but Coco Pop was game changing for me. Moving on to Monster versus Black Pearl, 100% Monster, just outright Monster. I like Black Pearl a lot, but it's nothing compared to Monster really. And then Lucky One and Dancing King, tough decision. But Lucky One is better overall. Dancing King, as fun as it is, I wouldn't say it's necessarily as good a song. Down to the nitty gritty as Lucky One is, which is just a superbly composed song. So yeah, Lucky One goes ahead. So yeah, now semi-final. The Eve versus Coco Pop, the battle for the war. The war, I could have just called it the war, couldn't I? The Eve or Coco Pop. I went with The Eve actually. I went with The Eve. I think a lot of people will be surprised with that. It's grown on me so much. When I first reviewed it, I wasn't all that into The Eve. I thought it was a little bit forgettable, but it's grown on me so much. The production, it's so deeply layered. It's constructed beautifully. Great vocals. The hip-hop infusions into it are superb. I love the whole performance as well. The dancing is just amazing. And yeah, I went with that. Then the other semi-final, Monster versus Lucky One, the battle for exact. I know, crazy. And I went with Lucky One over Monster. It's always been my favourite of the two singles, and it does win out here. I think it's a little bit more interesting, it's a little bit more diverse. It's got a more deeply layered instrumental, and it's less heavily focused on its dance. The Monster is so heavily focused on the dance and the choreography for its sales and blah blah, and its look and its image. But Lucky One, I think, was altogether the better song. So the final is The Eve versus Lucky One, and I went with Lucky One, unsurprisingly. You guys all know Lucky One has been my favourite EXO song for years now, and it does win here. So good. Really a really underrated song, and I hope all of you will check it out more, because everyone who's watched this far is a massive EXO anyway, but I hope you'll listen to Lucky One and watch the music video more, because it is such a good song. Let me know how you guys did. Our opinions will almost certainly completely differ, because that's the way music is. Nothing is completely objective, it's all subjective. And yeah, let me know who's in your finale, because I want to know actually. It should be interesting. I imagine not many people will get similar ones. I think when you do a bracket like this, the odds that yours are the exact same as someone else's is something like 1 in 9.2 trillion or quintillion or something like that. Mad like that. It's just, yeah, that's how it works. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like and a comment, suggest we do want to watch in the future. And yeah, Do your own. Tweet it at me. That'd be great. You don't have to do this whole thing. You can just write it out on a piece of paper. It's actually probably easier that way. I did it on Photoshop, so yeah. Please let me know. It'd be cool. Retweet it on Twitter and stuff. All right. Bye bye. Ginno signing out.